Bookshops stocked with novels and stationery are a common sight on the streets of Taiwan, but in Chiayi County, there's one bookshop that's not quite like the rest. Its reason for being is not to make money, but to change the lives of disadvantaged youths in the neighborhood. Besides books, it offers free tutoring, free meals, and even cash prizes to kids who improve their grades. Tonight, in our Sunday Special Report, we drop in on this extraordinary establishment to meet its founder and the kids whose lives it's trying to change.
Fresh from bed and still drowsy, this little girl in a ponytail is Wen-ling, a third grader at Hsing-chung Elementary School in Chiayi. Every day, she wakes up at 6:10 to get ready for the day. Wen-lin's grandmother walks her and her sister to school, all while pushing a pram with their younger brother. It's a long 6-kilometer trek that takes the family about an hour to complete, and that's just one way. After dropping off her two granddaughters at school, Ms. Yuan takes her grandson back home. That's another 6 kilometers on foot. Ms. Yuan's main source of income is collecting and selling recyclables. Through that, she's single-handedly raising her 3 grandchildren. Although she works hard for little money, Ms. Yuan has no complaints. Her only wish in life is for her grandchildren to have an education. But these days, she's particularly concerned about Wen-ling, who's been bringing home poor report cards. Her school has diagnosed her with a reading disability, meaning she needs special counseling.
Wen-ling is in a special needs class. She was doing badly in school, so she went into a special needs class. Originally, I didn't even know. Then her teacher told me she wasn't doing well on her exams.
Besides the special education at school, Wen-ling also attends an extracurricular one-on-one tutoring class in Hsing-chung Township.
爸爸小时候家里很穷，他曾经许愿，希望以后能让家人过上好日子。
The tutoring venue only offers classes at night. During the day, it's a second-hand bookshop. 'This man belting out a line of Tang poetry is Huang, the owner of the bookshop. As a child, he had to work the land every day, and his grades were among the lowest in his class. But that all changed when he was in 8th grade.
有一位老师，他不知道从哪一点发觉我好像很聪明。
There was a teacher. I don't know how, but she came to think that I was actually quite smart. She said, "Listen, teachers wear these nice clothes to class and they teach you things. Don't you think I look pretty classy? Let me tell you, I make more money than our entire family gets from harvesting 2 to 3 jia of land." I said, "Miss, is that true?" She said, "Yes, just ask your father." So of course I decided I wanted to study.
Huang decided to throw himself into studying. He earned diploma after diploma and eventually earned an MBA. He ended up making a salary of more than 1 million NT a year as the head of an exhibition hall of the Taipei World Trade Center.
当整个人潮塞爆都在寻求知识这个当下。
During the Taipei International Book Exhibition, the place would be packed full of people seeking knowledge. It was then that I thought, my hometown doesn't even have a single bookshop.
Huang decided to open a second-hand bookshop in his native Hsing-chung Township. To get it up and running, he spent more than 2 million NT buying all sorts of second-hand books from stores at Guanghua Digital Plaza. Every underprivileged child who came to his store was offered a book free of cost.
结果1个半月完了之后，小姐打电话给我，跟我说
1.5 months after opening, the shopkeeper gave me a call. She said, "We've been open for 1.5 months and only 7 or 8 people have come in to pick up a free book." I thought, I spent millions on this and it's not working?
Giving out free books did not kindle an interest in learning among the local children. Huang racked his brains for a new idea. He came up with something that proved irresistible.
从今天开始，所有庆安学生的拿是。
I said, starting today, any disadvantaged students will get 100 NT on top of their free book so they can take the bus back home. And wow, did that fill up the shop.
Huang's bookshop immediately began attracting a crowd. But just as he was ready to give himself a pat on the back, the mother of one of his young patrons told him something that came as a huge blow.
他说：“馆长，我们下一次来可不可以指定100块不要拿书？”
She said, next time we could just get the 100 NT and not take the book? She said, every time each kid brings back 5 or 6 books. They bring back 5 or 6 books that end up in a pile unread. My approach wasn't working. I was mistaken.
Huang realized that without providing a motive to read, giving out free books was pointless. It's 5 in the evening, and the streets are filling up with people heading home from work. It's at this time that Huang's second-hand bookshop turns into a study center.
不错，就是这么可爱，好不好？
馆长好。
好。
The children arrive and greet Huang as they walk in for the tutoring session. But first, they sit down in rows to enjoy a hearty meal. Huang says a full belly is crucial to have enough energy to learn.
不得了，有白饭，有馒头，有寿桃，10道菜。赶紧吃饭了今天很精彩10道菜。
After dinner, they whip out their textbooks and get down to work. This girl with short hair is Yijun, one student who's been radically changed by the study center. Yijun's mother has trouble getting around, and so her father works long and hard to support the family. Yijun doesn't want to burden her parents, so she takes her time at the study center seriously. Since coming here, she's improved by leaps and bounds.
Before I came to these classes, I was falling behind in my grades, but now my grades are good. I want to make my dad happy, and I want to be happy too.
As for Wen-ling, her grades have gone up too, just 1 year after attending the extra classes.
第一屆課嘅數學課96分。
First, she got 96% on a math test. Then she scored more than 90% in 3 subjects. As her grandmother, anything I can do to help her improve in school is worth it.
經過了1年多的一個學習。
After a little over a year of study, she's able to write characters with much greater accuracy. Before, she would always fail her Chinese tests. Now she can manage more than 70% or 80%.
Over time, the students at Huang's second-hand bookshop have been able to lift their grades. Their motivation comes not just from a desire to prove themselves, it's also fueled by the prospect of a cash prize.
第一名2000月考，不是期末考。
Number 1 in the class gets 2,000 NT. That's for monthly tests, not final exams. Number 2 gets 1,500 NT, and number 3 gets 1,000 NT. There are also prizes for improving on your own scores. If your rank goes up 5 places compared to the previous exam, you get 500 NT. If you improve by at least 30 points in any subject, that's also 500 NT.
These incentives cost Huang nearly 20,000 NT every month. Including overhead and food, the cost of the study center puts massive strain on the bookshop's budget. Huang paid for it using his pension until it ran out.
10年来，每个月开销12、3万。 退休金烧光了之后，当然还去借了钱，银行借钱。
For the past 10 years, I paid 120,000 to 130,000 NT every month. After burning through my pension, I had to get a loan from the bank. But seeing these kids turn their life around is so touching. Who'd have the heart to stop?
The unassuming bookshop plants the seeds of learning, and it waters them with care every day. Huang hopes the children will grow up with a desire to excel and to build a better future for themselves.